on to my ElseViews, and this is a movie that I've had for about a month now. It just took me a little bit to watch it. Mainly the fact that TV shows, the TV season has come to an end, and we're in the summer TV series, which means I can slack off and watch what the fuck I want, and read comic books more, and play my Xbox more. Oh god, I got way too much stuff to do now. But that's Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. Now, for those of you guys who do not know the history of this as an animated program, because this is one of the first. This was actually one of the first animated movies that was planned in the whole DC animated universe thing. Back when Batman the Animated Series had come out, this was actually, I believe, going to be the third DC animated movie that they had in their anthology. But this is the sequel to Justice League versus Teen Titans. It has the same voice talent coming out there. The cool part with this is the fact that they had a preview for the next movie that's coming up in a couple months, Batman and Harley Quinn. And that one, oh my gosh. That's I'm gonna be talking about that definitely. But you've got a lot of the people coming back. Stuart Allen as Damian Wayne, Robin. Brendan Suhu as Beast Boy, Sean Mayer as Dick Grayson, Christina Ricci's Tara, which I did not recognize Christina Ricci as Tara in here. You got Sebastian Blood or Brother Blood, Slade Wilson in here. Kevin Smith has a cameo in here, and it was really great movie. I mean, I didn't have too many complaints about the movie in a whole. The biggest complaint that I probably have would be that this is another movie that they unneedingly over sexualized the character for me, and that was Tara. I didn't feel like she needed to be, because okay, so the premise of the movie, real quick, you join the Teen Titans after the whole Teen Titans versus Justice League storyline, and they've got a new team member. Her name is Tara. She can, she's much like the Tara in the comic books and that you see on Teen Titans Go, that stuff. She controls rocks, with her mind. That's her power. She's able to, lift up rocks and stuff like that. And she's goes through, as this newbie, still feeling a little bit left out. We find out she's a year into joining the team, and that she's also then working as a double agent, working with Slade Wilson, who is contracted by Brother Blood to capture the Teen Titans so that he can become a god. Because, Brother Blood gonna be Brother Blood. The cool part with this was that it was a little weird because it contradicts the Teen Titans versus Justice League. You start 5 years prior to this, to all this stuff happening, where you have Dick Grayson as Robin, Speedy, Kid Flash, Beast Boy, and Bumblebee, where they rescue Growly Bear. That's awesome. Growly Bear just goes, Tara controls rocks. Poor Dwayne Johnson. This is true. This is why there will never be a Tara in the Shazam movies, because she would just go, I control you, rock. But no, so you have this is the very beginning where they set up basically Robin meeting Starfire. So the part where it contradicts is the fact that we have Beast Boy in there. And the way I thought it went with Teen Titans meets the Justice League is that Beast Boy is their age. And by there I mean Blue Beetle, Raven, Damian Robin's age, not Starfire, Nightwing's age, and all that. So I mean, it felt a little weird on that part, but it was one I quickly overlooked. I'm like, okay, because they used him as a through line throughout a lot of the movie, because they hit on this thing called Twitter, just had fun with it. So you go through here the movie, and okay, sorry, I forgot. One thing I always do with these movies is I always talk about how kid friendly this is, because the DC animated movies, they started out as extensions of the Justice League cartoon show, or Batman animated series, they always, had this, air of, you could watch these with your kids and have fun doing it. This is getting back to that. I there is some language in there. They say shit a couple times. Actually, I think it is literally a couple of times. And actually, no. This part irritates me a little bit. This next part, because they mask shooting a gun in one part with a laser sound, like it's all like blaster fire, which I get, because you can then make it, younger for kids. But then later on, they almost to emphasize the fact of, they're killing a person. It's gunfire. It's same gun, but it goes, one time it's pew, and another time it's pew. I'm like, wait, that doesn't. Shouldn't that be the same thing, or do we got like an element gun here, where it's like, okay, insert the bullet rounds, pew, pew, insert the laser rounds, pew pew, insert the squirt gun rounds, stuff like that. Hey guys, I'm ready. I'm good for voiceover work too, if you need. If you're leery on like sexual stuff, there is, some sexual innuendos and things like that. But all in all, this is one that I really do think you could watch with your kids. And the Blu-ray, I mean, I freaking love the Blu-ray, because here it showed the preview for Batman and Harley Quinn, which is set in the Batman the Animated Universe, or animated series universe, and features Melissa Rauch from The Big Bang Theory as Harley Quinn. And I heard her, in the previews and stuff, that the clips they showed, and I'm like, okay, she's like really good. She might, in my list of Harley Quinn voice actors, she beats Tara Strong, and Tara Strong is up there. Like, it goes Arlene Sorkin, it went Arlene Sorkin, Tara Strong, everyone else. Melissa Rauch just went up there because it seems like while doing it herself, she channeled Arlene Sorkin in that. And Arlene Sorkin, who the character of Harley Quinn was originally based off of. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing. I love Kevin Smith's cameo in there, because it seems very much like Kevin Smith. Very much just, spot on. In which they talk about, it's in the epilogue, where they're talking about this wonderful new member that's hinting at Wonder Girl, or Donna Troy. And there was a post-credit scene that I did not see. Sorry, damn it, Wikipedia. I highly recommend it. I mean, you can find it. I think it's like $20 on the Blu-ray over at Target. Not a plug for where I work, but yeah, I mean, it's well worth the watch. It's, DC. This is the problem I have right now with this. In all honesty, DC for animated movies kills it. I think this is why Marvel hasn't really stepped into that universe. I mean, they're getting their footing and doing great TV animated stuff, but they haven't done the animated movies, direct to DVD movies, in a good long while. DC, where their movies have been lacking, from what I've heard, Wonder Woman's going to be good, and I hope it is, because I want Wonder Woman to be good so much. I want it to be so good, and to where people can quit comparing it to fucking Marvel, and just be like, and then to where they're finally just be like, hey, guess what, guys? We're DC. We got our own universe of stuff. We aren't going to follow the Marvel formula, so you can all go play over there while we create great telling stories. But they've been killing it in the animated movie game. I mean, I do not think I've found one animated movie that they've released that I hated. Like, absolutely hated. And I think that tells a lot. Beatmaster brings up The Killing Joke. God damn it, Beatmaster. That is so close to being one that I hate. But I like it for the fact that it is the other thing I would always say about comic books based, or movies based off of comic books, especially in the DC animated universe, is how close they came to the source material. This is one that stayed the closest to the source material. If you exclude, and I'm talking about The Killing Joke, if you exclude the whole Batwoman wanting to fuck Batman thing, this aside to that is, so I enjoyed it for that reason. I don't like Killing Joke as a premise. Or okay, hold on, I'm gonna take this back. I like Killing Joke for what it is, for a Elseworlds telling. like Alan Moore originally intended. And I think I've said this, a couple of other times, but to have that be canon, and yet the only person that show or that book, that show affects be Batgirl, I've got to say fuck you to the editors, whoever decided, the people who originally made that possible, and then give a big thank you to the editors, the executives, Brendan Fletcher, Babs Tarr, I'm blanking on the third one, Cameron Stewart, for taking it out of continuity again in the comic books. Because when you have a story, and for those of you guys who do not know what the Killing Joke is, to oversimplify, you get an origin story for the Joker, but mainly you get Batman and the Joker. The Joker's trying to prove a point and say that he could push anyone so far or far enough to where he would kill. Because up at this point, they've established that Batman doesn't kill when he has the chance. So Joker kidnaps Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. It is suggested that he rapes her, but because he strips her down and takes photos of her after he's shot her, into the gut and paralyzes her, thus being born Oracle as someone who is, watching over Batman. Because Alan Moore, really great writer. It makes sense as an Elseworld story. Basically, even with the fact that, when we had Jim Gordon as Batman, doesn't even recognize this whole, Killing Joke thing of, when, and granted, in the comics, they didn't have him face the Joker. I would almost argue with that the character Bloom was almost his Joker. But even then, you do not see, after a good while, him motivated to capture / kill the Joker. The only person you see affected by this, the only person that has any ramifications, is a tertiary character. Is a character who is not in the main. She's a plot point in the story, and that's Barbara Gordon. That's Batgirl. That to me is fucked up. That to me should not happen. There are better ways to make that canon and not be a dick move. Beatmasters bring up, a great issue that, you could argue that Alan Moore bringing up rape is actually serving as a good cause, as not bringing up rape at all is ignoring a widespread issue. Very true. Very true. That's probably why I do not shit on the Killing Joke as much as I could. Because it's like, it is bringing good to something horrible. Oh, where was it? Growly Bear had said, that he only wishes that Wonder Woman wasn't a model but a buff actress. I could see a more athletic, and I'm choosing words so carefully here because I'm keeping in mind that I am a 300-pound fat fuck. But I could see them, doing a Ronda Rousey style, body type woman, but with choosing Gal Gadot for the role of Wonder Woman, a person who is worth the watch alone for Batman vs Superman. If you could get a Wonder Woman edit of Batman vs Superman where it's just scenes that feature Diana Prince or Wonder Woman, I'd watch that. I'd watch it every day. I would rather have, and now granted, Gal Gadot isn't exactly, that model, tall, skinny, rail person. She honestly reminds me the most of Wonder Woman, and, the lady right there back behind me on my wall, Wonder Woman, with the exception of because being drawn by men where, she's got a bigger chest and, stuff like that. Wonder Woman isn't, like fitness model or anything like that. It's just, she's a girl or a woman who is outside doing all of her training outside, doing sword training to where you don't necessarily need big, muscles. Let's be honest. I mean, The Rock probably looked a little funny in Hercules carrying a sword and stuff like that. I think Gal Gadot is a great choice. I do think that the problem I have with the whole, casting a buff actress is it's like, who would that be? Because a lot of those buff actresses, I don't think can act that great. All right.